For years, astronomers have been staring at the same region of space and seeing almost nothing. A giant cloud of dust stood between us and whatever was hiding behind it. Visible light couldn't get through. Even some of our most powerful telescopes could only see the outer structure, the glowing dust, the shadows, but not what was happening deep inside. Then James Webb looked at it, and suddenly the darkness wasn't empty. There were stars. There was violent activity. There were structures hidden inside the dust that we had never been able to see clearly before. And one of the most remarkable examples is Centaurus A, a galaxy about 11 million light-years away, with an enormous dusty region surrounding its active center. Webb's infrared vision can penetrate the dust far better than visible light observations, revealing previously hidden details and even resolving individual stars. But this isn't simply a story about seeing more stars, because buried behind that cosmic fog is something much more powerful, a supermassive black hole actively feeding. It is producing enormous amounts of energy and launching powerful jets into the surrounding galaxy. And Webb has now revealed structures around it that were almost completely hidden from view, including a strange warped band of dust and an unusual S-shaped structure that astronomers are still trying to understand. So, what was hiding behind the dust? Why was it invisible for so long? And what happens when you finally remove the cosmic curtain from one of the most violent galaxies relatively close to us? Because once Webb looked through the dust, Centaurus A stopped looking like the galaxy we thought we knew. Imagine looking through a thick fog at night. You know something is behind it. You can see vague shapes. You can see lights, but you can't see the details. That's essentially what happened with Centaurus A. The galaxy is relatively close to us by cosmic standards, about 11 million light-years away. But its center is heavily obscured by dust, and dust is a nightmare for visible light astronomy. It scatters and absorbs visible light, making it incredibly difficult to see what is happening behind it. For decades, astronomers could observe the galaxy's dramatic outer structures, but its central region remained frustratingly difficult to study. Hubble could reveal the large-scale shape. Other infrared telescopes could detect some of the hidden structures, but nobody had been able to combine infrared sensitivity with enough resolution to see the central region in this level of detail. Then came Webb, and this is where infrared changes everything. Infrared light can pass through dust much more effectively than visible light. It's almost like switching from a normal camera to a camera that can see through the fog. Webb's instruments can observe wavelengths that reveal objects hidden behind enormous quantities of dust. And when Webb turned toward Centaurus A, the familiar galaxy transformed. The dust wasn't simply a dark obstacle anymore. It became part of the story. A complex structure of glowing material, dust lanes, star-forming regions, and strange shapes stretching across the galaxy emerged. But the deeper Webb looked, the more complicated the picture became. Because hidden behind the dust was a galaxy that was far more active than the visible image suggested. And at its center was a monster. At the heart of Centaurus A sits a supermassive black hole. And this isn't a quiet black hole. It is actively feeding. Matter is falling toward it, heating up, and releasing enormous amounts of energy. The black hole also launches powerful jets that extend far beyond the galaxy's central region. These jets can travel enormous distances, injecting energy into the surrounding environment. So, imagine what we're looking at. A galaxy filled with stars and dust, with an invisible monster at its center actively consuming matter. But here's the problem. Most of that activity was hidden behind dust. The visible image didn't tell the whole story. Webb's infrared instruments changed that. Its observations revealed a dense population of stars buried inside the galaxy's dusty heart. Millions of individual stars became visible in ways previous observations couldn't resolve. And suddenly, the central region became much more than a dark silhouette. It became a living environment. Stars were being born. Older stars were shedding material. Dust was moving. Energy was flowing outward. And the black hole was influencing everything around it. This is important because galaxies aren't static. They evolve. Stars create elements. They die. They return material to space. New stars form from that material. Black holes consume gas and can inject enormous amounts of energy back into their surroundings. It's a constant cycle. and Centaurus A appears to be going through an especially dramatic phase. Astronomers believe the galaxy experienced a major collision with another galaxy roughly 2 billion years ago. The aftermath is still visible. That collision likely helped trigger intense star formation and contributed to the strange structure we see today. In other words, the dust isn't hiding a peaceful galaxy. It's hiding the remains of a cosmic collision. And Webb has just given us a much clearer view of the aftermath. But then something in the new images caught attention. Something with a shape that doesn't immediately make sense. Look closely at the center of Centaurus A. The dust doesn't form a simple ring. It doesn't create a perfectly symmetrical disk. Instead, Webb reveals a warped structure, a band cutting across the galaxy with a strange parallelogram-like shape. And within the infrared view, there's another feature that looks almost like an enormous letter S. It's one of those shapes that immediately makes you ask, why does it look like that? The structure may be connected to the galaxy's complicated history, the collision with another galaxy, the distribution of dust, star formation, the influence of the central black hole, or perhaps several of these processes working together.